It's Thursday, it's 8 o'clock, and it's the big metal detecting radio show.
Welcome to the Big Metal Detecting Podcast.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you all well this week. Live again, as ever, on a Thursday night. And obviously live also on the big metal detecting TV show, which was streaming via YouTube and our site, social media sites, Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine, Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine Group, and the big metal detecting podcasts of what I know, but there's obviously other people that will be sharing to other places. So thank you all, and thank you all for tuning in and coming on board. Greatly looking forward again this week to speaking to our guest, Stephen Pettican, shortly. Evening to Lee Hull in the, and Robert Hope, as ever, on the Spreaker chat room. Now, don't forget, those of you who are sending in questions, who are in communication, please apologise straight away, because generally I don't see them, and Luke has to prompt me because I don't see any of the questions or other information that's on any of the YouTube and the likes. So Luke updates me that constantly. For those of you listening, I'm currently dressed as a Viking, so I'm going to get rid of that now. As I said last week, I'm starting to having to wear hats on the broadcast due to the fact that the light's pixelating on my head. So kindly this evening been sent, this week been sent a hat from Mr. Pete Terrell, or a couple of hats from Pete Terrell to sponsor advertise LP. So if any other companies, manufacturers, etc., want to, or even YouTubers, if you've got hats, if you want to advertise via my head during the show, please feel free to contact me and send over one, and I will gladly wear either t-shirts or hats just for the show. I've got to wear black t-shirts, so tonight we've gone Rutus, and I have to wear hats due to the pixelation, so there you go. Anyway, it's been another busy week. Archaeologically, things are getting quicker and quicker and more. It's happening all the time. There's a lot of news. It's getting so difficult to keep up with things in the archaeological community at the moment, which is brilliant. Don't get me wrong, it's absolutely fantastic, but keeping up with it and sharing that information is getting a bit difficult at times. But we're getting it out there. The information, all the news updates from anything historical, archaeological, metal detecting wise, are all on our Archaeology and Metal Detecting Facebook page. So, first tonight in the news, I think I've got this right. We will be discussing one of our members of the Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine group found a fantastic, stunning medieval gold ring. I think he has contacted me to tell me the exact location of it. But unfortunately I've not got to them messages because I've had a busy week myself, and I apologise straight away if I'm unable to say his name correctly. Adrian Gala was filming one of his YouTube videos. The links are all... This article is actually on the Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine website, archmdmag.com. Look in news and you'll find this straight away. And he found a absolutely beautiful 14th to 16th century religious gold ring with sapphire and rubies and the name Jesus engraved into it. Stunning find, and he found that with his Garrett 80 Pro. It's currently with the Finds Liaison Officer. If you go on to the article itself, you'll find there's a video at the end, and about 9 minutes is where he actually finds it. A lot of the video is in his native tongue, but there are subtitles for English people. So yeah, fantastic find, and thank you very, very, very much to Genij for allowing us to use the images and the information, and his friend Sergei Haxel for bringing us to our attention. And if anybody does want to contact us with any finds of consequence, we'll be more than happy to to put them through the Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine. And we've got a bit of an agreement in place with the Treasure Hunting magazine that if they're also interested, we'll put them in communication with the finder, and that might get used in the Treasure Hunting magazine also. So again, thank you for that. Second up, I thought this was a lovely story. An amateur metal detectorist, as we're always called in the media, unearthed an 18-karat gold ring from 1834 on a beach in Sussex, and he used Facebook to unravel the tale of its owner and who had made it to remember his beloved wife. It was described with the name Elizabeth Honeywood and the date 29th of September 1834. It's thought to have been made by her husband Thomas to mourn his wife's death, and the ring has been reunited now with distant relatives of the Honeywoods. Beautiful story. Last up in the news this week, it's one that came to my attention today, and Luke's actually got all the information for me. Jamie and his friend Tom, who were friends of Luke's, and the find will feature in Treasure Hunting magazine, as well as the next paper copy of ArcMD Mag, which is out at Spring Detectable, which we'll get onto dates later. And they found an absolutely stunning and very, very rare, bear with me, Willets nipple gold quarter stater from the Ragini tribe, dated 60 to 20 BC. Apparently only 49 of these have been found. You'll find more out about the coin, obviously, in the magazines, as I've stated, from Jamie and Tom themselves. In the meantime, Jamie and Tom have a YouTube channel called Big Finds, Little Finds. Check them out. That's your news for this evening, and I would like to introduce our guest for tonight, Mr. Stephen Pettican. How are you, Stephen?
Okay, good evening.
Here he is. How are you?
All right.
I gotta say, we love the Welsh. Look at his room. For those of you who are listening as opposed to watching, he's got his shed metal detecting wall of fame going on. Lots going on there. Medals, pictures, images, stickers, photographs.
Yeah.
I tell you what. Now I'll go straight away into this question. Some of the images that you sent me last night were of trophies that you've created. Are some of them the ones that some people can see are on the second shelf? The top shelf in your shed of these. Tell me about these trophies, Stephen, because I thought they were absolutely phenomenal.
It was just something I came up with for last year, Spring Detectable. There's a couple of people out there do a lot of work for YouTube and all that, and I just thought, it'd be so nice just to give back to them, innit?
Mm.
So these ones up here, they haven't even been painted; they're not even finished yet.
Yeah.
So they're for this thing.
And for those who obviously again can't see, they're basically a standard trophy size of a trowel on a circular surround. That looks heavy.
Yeah, it's heavy. It's got to be about 3 or 4 pound in weight, I expect.
I'll have to check your welding later on, I think. Give me a close-up of your welding, I will. And you create all them at home, Stephen?
No, I do them in work if I got a couple of minutes, spare.
Yeah.
And then I'll bring them home and tat them up at home,
They're fantastic, them. I really do like them. Excellent. We're going to have to get one off you in the future and come up with something that we can actually...
I've got one for you.
Pardon?
I've got one for you.
Oh, that's very nice. Yeah. Very nice of you indeed. I was just thinking of something that we can actually use in the future to award people who the readers of the magazine that potentially we could give something out to, maybe. So, yes, lovely. So, anyway, how long have you been metal detecting, Stephen?
About 25, 30 years now.
Good Lord. And I bet you've... Go on, sorry.
I started in the 80s. I was mainly bottle digging on the old Victorian dumps in our village. And then my grandfather had a metal detector, and I was like, oh, let's have a go with that. Oh, no, you can't touch that, he said. It's too expensive, like, so then we had to go with it, and my auntie had a farm, so we used to pop up there and have a little go in the fields. We used to find rubbish. That's what got me going in it.
Stephen, can I ask, is your mic connected correctly? Because we're not getting any sound on the visual feed. Now, I'm presuming... Let me just check with listeners on the... no, Steve, you've got no sound coming through at all. So, I can hear you perfectly.
What's that like?
Somebody give me a hello. Tell me how it's doing.
Is that better?
I can hear you perfectly. I'm just waiting for somebody else to let me know how we're doing. Gotta say,
hello.
Well, look at this. I can hear you. Hold on a minute. Hold on.
Hear me now? No.
I can hear you perfectly. I'm just. Sound is okay on Spreaker now, so we're fine on the podcast. So, for those listening on the visual feed, have we got anything yet? If who's messaged me? Laura, Aaron, or Luke, if you could briefly let me know. No, still no sound, unfortunately. So I do apologise for that.
Keep saying mic muted on the screen.
Right, it says mic muted on the screen. Luke, is that anything of consequence there? If you want to, can you click on that at all, Stephen?
Yeah, I click on this microphone thing, and then it goes away. And now, I don't know.
How are we doing, people?
Any better? Can anyone hear me now?
These things are sent to testers, like someone who's Luke's typing to me now.
No, it says your browser's lost connection to your mic.
My niece who's listening. Hello, Emma. She said that you still can't hear yourself. Let me see. Luke's actually probably working. He said, "Can you log off this link and come back on again like you did before, and see if that kicks it back in to play, Steve, if you don't mind."
Right. How do I press that? Leave then, is it? Right.
So if you cancel that and then go back into your messages, and Drew Suttle says you need to stand on one leg, rib his belly with his left hand, and then it went off because someone from work who's going to remember to bring my birthday present in tomorrow from last May. Stand on one leg, rib his belly with his left hand, and tap his head.
That's all going wrong here now.
Peter L says Pettican's broke the internet.
Yeah, busted the internet. What the hell's going on here? I'm on bloody YouTube now.
He said as you knock your 3310 and dial up internet cocked up again.
I tell you what, me and technology just does not mix.
You're working fine and dandy on the podcast, thankfully. So it's just the issue being the visual one.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I'm going to play around with my my green screen in the background and let people see brick walls or houses, or even me being a ghost.
Right. Ooh, look at that. Ooh. Can you hear me?
Right,
now?
so Steve's back on. Steve's back on the visual side of things, and let's see, can we hear him on the visual, everybody?
Can anyone hear me now? No? Yes?
Again, I do apologise, everybody. These technical things are sent to test us. It wouldn't be the big metal detecting radio show and TV show if we weren't hit by these things.
Yeah, it keeps coming up with that. Your mic is muted for some reason.
If you would like, ladies and gentlemen, if you can pop over to Spreaker, that's Spreaker, and search for the Big Metal Detecting Podcast or radio show, and you'll be able to hear the show on the podcast while obviously seeing the visual side of things. I will put the link on. If I go onto the Big Metal Detecting Podcast page on Facebook, in fact, if I go into the feed on Facebook, I will put a link on there to the show on Spreaker. If you can click onto the Spreaker link, and then we will be able to. You'll be able to listen to the show simultaneously. So there's a top tip from Mr. Pete Terrell. There we go. So if you, for those there, if you click on the link that I've just shared in the feed for this on social media, then you'll be able to hear Stephen there. Anyway, cracking on with the show, obviously, because we got lots to get through. And again, I apologise to those who are watching tonight. So, Steve, you started metal detecting about in the 80s, but started off bottle digging.
Yeah, back in the 80s.
So what
on the old Victorian dumps in.
And so what?
Wrong again,
So what started the actual metal detecting?
Pardon?
What actually started your metal detecting? Was it just something obviously of interest that caught your imagination and cracked on from there?
Yeah, it was my grandfather had a detector, and my auntie had a lot of land on a farm, so we used to go up there in the summers, and have a wander around. I used to find some rubbish. I used to find some other interesting bits, Roman bits, because there was a settlement up there years ago. But to actually buy a detector back then was a lot of money. So then my grandfather's, but then he had to come with me because he didn't want me to break it. So, and the batteries were expensive for him. I think it ran on a 6-volt battery, which was covered in paper.
I remember, incidentally, when I was given the C-Scope 600 series at Detectable, it actually had them batteries in it. So I know exactly what you're on about.
Yeah, it was like he had like a curvy banana handle on it. C-Scope thing he had.
Mm.
Yeah, so and then I went on. I got another machine then. Back in about early 90s. Then I started working away from home then, so I couldn't do a lot then. So I used to work away on cross-country pipelines. So I was going for a lot of land all the time, but I didn't have time to go detecting.
Mm. So were you finding much in them days?
What's happening here, is it?
I can hear you fine and dandy. We can see you visually.
Can you hear me?
We can see you visually, and hopefully people have gone onto Spreaker and listening simultaneously. So
what's that noise?
That's probably me talking. Can you hear me all right, Steve?
Pardon?
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, it's cutting it in and out.
You've gone a bit silent, Stephen.
Yeah.
There you are. There you are.
This audio keeps cutting out all the time for some reason. But when it does cut out, you can hear me.
Yeah, well, we can hear on Spreaker, as I said, and hopefully people have passed on over to there. Tony Kaywood's there, so I'd just like to say to Tony Kaywood, thank you for the 3 points last night. That was most welcome.
Yeah, and they were painting white as well, weren't they?
They were indeed. You've been in the 80s and the 90s, so you've seen technology change And what major differences have you found from the equipment you were originally using to what's available now?
Well, there's a lot of difference in technology now, and it's so advanced now. It's quite scary. Some of the machines, you look at them and you think, bloody hell, am I going to actually be able to work this, suss it out? But they've made it so easy just to go through it. Like, it's quite easy. So I'm quite rubbish when it comes to technology, but the machines are good. Like,
Yeah. So, when did you start making YouTube videos? Tell us about that.
2018 it was. I was watching a lot of detecting videos, and Jeff Cromwell, I was watching him for a while, and also I Detect, the man we shouldn't name, as well. Lots of other Detective the Bleeps, I was watching him. I just thought, I could have a go of this. Like, but I got a face for radio, and not very good at technical stuff and all this stuff. I haven't got a computer. I don't do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm old school, me, And Jeff was pushing me all the time. Come on, do it, like, So I just thought, I'll have a go. And the first couple of videos were rubbish, but you learn as you go along all the time. You're picking up ideas of other people, and you think, and then you start talking to other people who give you good information and advice and all. Like Aaron gave me a lot of information how to do thumbnails and all this, because I didn't know what I was doing, and Scott as well. He gave me some good advice on it.
Yeah. And you've had loads of fines to take it as well now.
Yeah. I've got some good land, and I got a lot of land. It has been detected before over the years by numerous people, but I'm still finding things in the ground all the time.
Tell us about the variety.
We've got a lot of Roman activity down our way. We got like Kywent, which is literally 2 miles from my house. That was a big Roman settlement. Also, we're right on the tide line to the River Severn as well, so the Vikings fired it that way. There's a lot of Norman castles round here as well. There's a lot going off round here.
Well, I mean, where exactly are you in South Wales?
Where the bridge comes over into Wales, and right by there.
Right, I'm with you. I spent a lot of time growing up, holidayed every year down in Saundersfoot and Tenby, and some on the Gower Peninsula as well. So, I don't know, obviously a lot of different locations. And obviously we spoke to Mike Smith as well numerous times from South Wales. He found the Celtic Chariot. So, it's a fantastic place. On the bays, obviously, Kimmy and Scott, they were originally, when I first spoke to them, they were in South Wales as well. So, it sounds like there's a lot of good things going on down there.
Yeah, well, I'm right on the border as well, so there's a lot of conflict on the border lines, wasn't there, as well?
Yeah. And one of the things that me and you have discussed as well is, and forgive me if I get this wrong because I haven't got it written down, the Black Lave Heritage Fishing. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And you're in communication with them. And obviously, we'll briefly give mention to them because I'm astounded at some of their work.
Oh yeah, it's amazing what they do down there. It is really good, and they're keeping a long tradition going as well. And I've spoke to Martin, and he said he'd get in contact with you, and he'd be happy to do an interview with you as well.
Brilliant, that's fantastic. So they're taking old historical fishing methods and doing that in today's society, and not only are they doing the fishing, but they're also finding all manner of historical fantastic finds as well.
Oh yeah, unbelievable! The things they find out in the Severn when the tide goes out, they're finding things, medieval things, big cannonballs, Roman finds, stuff from the 1800s, 1700s. But it's not like mudlarking on the Thames, as you see them down there. It's very dangerous out there. You literally got 40 minutes window before you've got to come back in, because the tide will cut you off. And as soon as that cuts you off, you're stuck there, and that's it.
Yeah.
You're going to drown. It's that tide will run 6 knots. You can't even swim 6 knots. So
I saw a video they put on this week right by the actual bridge, and they showed you the type of footwear that you have to wear and the speed that you have to run across, because everything will drag you down like quicksand.
Yeah. That mud. I used to go out there a lot, looking for things and also fishing as well. But that mud, it looks quite hard. But then if you stand still long enough, you will just sink and sink and sink.
Yeah.
It'll be up to your waist in no time, and then, you're buggered then, aren't you?
Yeah, certainly are. Certainly are. Have you actually spent any time with them yourself?
Yeah, I normally see Martin or Richard, the 2 brothers, and Richard Harris as well. I grew up with him as a young lad. If they're down there, I'll go and see him in the net house, have a chat with him and stuff. But yeah, I went down there once and did a bit of a video on him. Also went down there with Detector. I was just looking for lead weights and where else was down there, They also have a lot of other people from the bloke from Germany come over and did a photo shoot with them, and they've had the weatherman go there, a TV series going there, and they're doing well for themselves.
They are. The video's fantastic. We share them all the time on Facebook. Really do enjoy watching them. Luke said he's going to kill the video feed in a moment. He's put up on the video feed that due to the sound issues for those who are watching, the video feed will actually end in 5 minutes. So we're running short on time on that for those who are watching. He's currently showing the manner of which people can find us on Spreaker, and you can come over and listen to the discussion tonight on there. So thanks, Luke, for doing that, and apologies again to everybody. No idea what's happened, but most people are actually blaming Stephen. that'll be Pete.
It's the Welsh here, it is. It buggers everything up.
Anyway, moving on. I've been asked the question, Andre Figueiredo, because I always say it wrong, and I do apologise. Figueiredo. When we finally meet, which we nearly did a couple of weeks ago, but he was going one way in his wagon and I was going the other way in my car, so we nearly met, but not quite. He asks what machine you currently use.
I'm using the Macro Cruiser, and I've also got a Simplex as well.
And so you're very much Nocta Macro orientated currently.
Yeah, I am.
And what have you used in the past?
I still got a Garrett Ace 250. Still got that one. Before that, is it a Bounty Hunter or something?
Right, yeah.
That gave me a headache, that did. That was rubbish. And I can't remember what the other one was. I think it was a Fisher, maybe. I can't remember. And then it was like the original C-scope, which I started on.
Yeah.
So I think I've taken it more seriously in the last couple of years than I did back then,
Yeah. And it's... how often do you get out and about?
Once a fortnight, twice a fortnight now, with work and kids, family commitments and all that.
I hear that. So again, we were talking about finds a little earlier. What would probably be your favourite find?
That's probably the odd stuff. Just the weird things you don't expect to find. What did I find? Little lead, like a clothes clasp.
Yeah.
I think it's Roman. It opens and shut like a book. You clamp it to your hems or something, I don't know, to drag it down.
Yeah.
So you can see. that thing there. See that?
I'm with you. Yeah.
That was on us. That was on a site. It was. We didn't think nothing was there, but we've come across an awful lot of Roman coins and artifacts there, and a lot of stuff from the 1700s and 1800s as well. And then the ground was quite sandy, so everything was quite tidy condition.
Yeah.
Easy to dig as well.
Marvellous. So do you go to many organised events, like out and about? Obviously, you've been detectable and such like in the past.
Yeah, go to a few. I've been to 2 detectables, summer ones. Went to spring last year, went to spring this year. Been to a couple of LP metal detectives rallies. It's when they fall on the weekends. I haven't got the kids, I can go, or if the weather's rubbish, I won't go. And if they're quite close, I'll go as well, because they're all like an hour and a half away from me.
Yeah. Well, I would take the road system's pretty easy then. If you're jumping onto the motorway from where you are, it's quite easy to and from.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, straight on the motorway and then the M4 and it.
There was a news article that I shared around last night. It was concerning not toxins, things that are actually in soil, and they actually act as an antidepressant. Microbes in the soil act as an antidepressant to make you happy, and it's something that's been on my mind a lot. And obviously yourself going metal detecting, do you feel that's a valid potential thing?
I don't know. I lick most of my coins anyway, so it's probably helping somewhere along the lines, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's a good article. It goes into depth about the similar soil microbes having a similar effect on the brain as Prozac, without the negative side effects and potential for chemical dependency and withdrawal. And I was talking to someone about it today, and the obviously a lot of people who go metal detecting have said how much it helps their psychology, basically. And for me, I thought to myself, we've got the positive ions from the wind and such like, and the rain and the nature itself, but also this as well. You can quite easily understand why it's why metal detecting is such a therapeutic hobby.
Oh yeah, it is. It is. Just to get away from the mad life that everyone lives these days. So you're up at 6 every morning, you don't get in till 6 in the evening, with work, and then you got family life as well. It is stressful, and to be out in the middle of nowhere with just birds and cows and the odd tractor going by, just bliss.
It is, and I think everybody will have a similar. Apart from Pete, who thinks I've turned hippie, sadly not Pete. I still eat meat for a start, and apologies to anybody I've just upset with that. Tony Kaywood says, "Yeah, hence the saying, happy as a pig in mud."
Yeah,
it's not the one that I generally hear, Tony, but yeah, we'll go with that anyway. And it keeps us all out of trouble, as Andre says as well. A couple of questions for you, Stephen. What is probably your oldest find?
Oldest find? I'd say Roman down our way. A lot of Roman stuff down here.
So tell us about the variety of your Roman finds.
Plenty of coins. I've had some fib brooches. I've had little pins. Nothing really spectacular, because I presume the land I've been on has been done over and over, and all the good stuff's gone. That's the way it goes with me. I'm the most unluckiest person going when it goes out digging.
You haven't met me.
Oh, terrible. My mate will come with me and he'll find good stuff all day long, and I'm picking up horseshoes.
Yeah. Now, you sent me a number of finds, images of finds last night. There is definitely a Roman coin on there. You've sent me the double side. The one side, it's an image of a man looking to the right-hand side, and on the opposite side, it looks like a signpost with two people either side. You know the one I'm on about?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Do you know what that one is at all?
No, I couldn't find that in the book.
Right.
That one. My speaker's just gone off, so I have to talk to you now on the phone. No.
And then there's obviously lots of other things that you've sent over. Buckles, Jew's harp. There's a nice Jew's harp.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of beach finds as well. It looks like a Tiffany bracelet and a ring that actually looks the style of a tiara.
Yeah. I found them the same night, literally 5 foot apart from each other.
What beach was that?
That was down Barry Island. Gavin and Stacey Land.
We love that programme.
It was,
Going off topic, and obviously because you do know that area, does the Barry Island, is it now influenced by Gavin and Stacey's? A lot of tourism thanks to that.
Yeah. I think it's brought a lot of people to the area, and they spent a lot more money down there.
Mm.
So you can go down there any time of the year, and you see people there taking photographs of the slot machines, Nessa's slots. There's even in the summer, like Dave's coaches, the actual bus will turn up and take you around Barry, and take you to where the street where they lived, and to the Bassett, which they call the Dolphin. It's called the Bassett, the pub.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of people get down there for that alone.
I actually went on to the Barry Island Fun Fair. God, it must be about 35 years ago now. My mum and dad took us there when we were in South Wales, and I can only vaguely remember it as well. Yeah. Fantastic. You've had other finds.
Took all that down now.
They took it all down, really?
That's all gone now.
Good Lord.
Yeah, it's all gone now, all that. They have got another fun fair there, but it's more like a travelling one,
Yeah. I'm just going through the pictures. You've got a nice Victorian coin, and then some images of what we spoke about before, your trophies. One with Stephen Gray, Digger Dawn, Sid Perry, and Aaron Weedle with with a lovely little one as well. Back to the Jude. And then the famous wife's Welsh Cakes.
Oh yes, everyone loves them.
Do you know me auntie
loves them more than anybody. He takes them home.
My family, my auntie and uncle lived in Benwick in Anglesey, and I presume it was from my auntie. My mum started making Welsh cakes. We had the flat based traditional way of cooking on the pan thing that you turned them over on the hob. We had all that in the house. I think my brother's actually got it now. And looking at the picture that you've sent me, you've got a big box with absolutely exactly like my mum used to do, boxes full at a time, and always with a bit of butter on mine as well.
Butter? Oh no, I don't have butter on them.
A bit of butter for me. And you've had another recent find, I presume, one that you've cleaned up, and it's a Thames and Severn Canal token.
Yeah, that's an oddball. That I researched that, and there's only 20,000 ever made, apparently.
Really, that's a nice little coin. That it's got the Thames and Severn Canal with a a ship on one side. On the other side, it looks like a bridge or a tunnel entrance.
Yeah.
Very nice. And going back to the coin itself, Graham Dempsey has actually sent me a few things over this past week. He is the person who created the... Where is it? I've lost it. It was in the room before and now I can't see it. There it is. The cleaning pen. It's the pencil with the inserts in it cleans the find. And some of the feedback I've seen has been fantastic. But last week, he's got a new product on the market, and he sent me that over, and I'm still in the process of trying to get time to try it. But it's called Preserve It Wax. I think I mentioned it last week, but I'm going to have a good go with this weekend. And just looking at that coin, the Thames and 7 Canal token, I think it'd look lovely with the composite cleaning pencil or the Preserve It Wax on. So we're going to be getting Graham back on in a couple of weeks. He was on All Metal Mode UK last year. So we're going to get Graham on to go over and discuss the new product and what have you in a few weeks. Obviously, after I've had the opportunity to use it myself. And it sounds like you've disappeared. You there, pal?
Yeah,
we've reconnected. Seem to have lost connection for a moment there. So, we're going to get Graham back on soon so we can discuss the product once I've had the opportunity to use it and review it myself. So, greatly looking forward to that. But yeah, the coin looks like it'd be very worthwhile. And you've had lots of your numerous spoon ends, buckles, coins. You've got all sorts there.
Yeah, it's a matter of all things down here. All sorts of everything. But I do like to give them to the fans, make a display case.
Yeah.
And then say to them, thank you very much this year for letting me on your land, and this is what I found, some of the good stuff, and they hang it in their kitchen or,
Yeah. Yeah, some fantastic finds there.
I got a big permission up in the Forest of Dean, and the farmer up there, he appreciates that because he's got a B&B, and he likes to show the guests, look, this is what was found on my land, and he likes that.
Fantastic. Do you know, there's another place that I used to go, well, I've been once definitely on a family holiday. I went to, it was great when I was young. I'm 45 now, so when I was young, we didn't do any abroad holidays. It was always family trips in the caravan or the trailer tent. So as I said, the likes of Tenby, the Swansea and the Gower, Forest of Dean. We had my auntie lived in Haverfordwest for a while, so we travelled everywhere, and it was some of them places now I think to myself, God, they would have been great to metal detect.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So you said you're going to...
Again, do we?
Sorry?
You don't...
No, we don't think,
detected all those places, but,
Yeah. The times I've drove down roads nowadays, I'm thinking, every time anything comes on telly, I think Mrs. Sadler's fed up with me saying, good field, that. Needs melt detector.
Yeah.
So
I can't talk too much when the wife's in the car because she just goes off on one. If I talk about melt detecting.
Yes, Kimmy, I think 45's old. I definitely feel it. I could do with one of them squeezes that I gave you off somebody to me, to be honest. But I've got a bit round to be able to get my arms around. So you help promote LP as well. Pete sponsors your channel.
Yeah, we do, yeah.
How did that come about, Steve?
I don't know, really. It was just, I don't know, you just like me. I think it was all to do with 2018, Summer Detectable, when I got invited down there, and me, Rob, and Harry turned up. We went down there. the dig. And that's how it started from there, I think. But Beat Sound, he's a top bloke. He never asked for anything. We never asked anything off him. We just fly the flag and everyone's happy.
Yeah, he seems. Do you know what? One of the things I have an issue with living where I live in Congleton and not having the opportunity to travel as much as I'd like is the amount of people who I would like to spend more time with metal detecting. Luke especially. He puts on a lot of good digs with southeast metal detecting rallies. And the amount of times he's come down, but it's going to be a 5.5 hour drive to get down there. So, and Pete, I'd love to be able to spend time on other people's digs, see Pete more, see Scott and Kimmy more. There's so many good friends I've made in the hobby, but I'm only likely to see at Detectable or the Rodney Cook Memorial Rally or Detecticon or something. It's a bit of a pain, really, the size of the country when it comes to it.
Yeah, it is. And when I end up going to rallies, I end up talking more than I do detecting.
Which, when we're talking about events, Detectable, people say, why'd you go, people who I work with, why'd you go to Detectable? There's a lad who I work with, he works on the opposite shift on nights, shift on nights to me. And he messaged me during last week's podcast and said, how can I listen to your podcast? I've just realised that I was told you do it and I'm interested, so put him onto it. And he's listened to absolutely loads and now he wants to come to Detectable. He hasn't even got a metal detector yet, but he said, well, why'd you go to Detectable then? What's it about? I said, well, it's the crack, meeting the people that we speak to all year round, people that you want to spend time with, you want to see more, but you can't. So as well as going for a few hours metal detecting here and there, which I personally don't, I man the stores and chat to people all day, it's nice to actually spend time with your friends, and it gives, with the likes of Pete living all the way down south and Luke. I mean, I'll be actually spending time with Luke next weekend at the National Council for Metal Detecting meeting. So, that's a bonus for me in that sense. But, yeah, it's Detectable and the likes. For those of you who haven't been to a major event like this, it's something totally unique and different within the hobby. And Pettican will be there with his Welsh Cakes.
It is a really good crack in it, especially at camping as well. Oh, yeah.
So, did you find much at Detectable last year?
Not really, because I was talking too much to everybody.
Mm.
All the walking, wasn't it? All the walking.
Hell of a lot.
Got a couple of Vicky coins and things like that. I didn't find any Roman, though.
Yeah.
But he was mainly talking to everybody. Stood in the field and just chatting to everybody.
But wouldn't have changed it for the world.
Didn't do all the detecting I wanted at home. That's right.
Going through people, obviously discussing events that are taking place this year, I've tried to put a list together with the best dates I possibly can. So we've got coming up Spring Detectable, the 4th and 5th of April, which I believe is Henbury on Thames in Oxfordshire. We've then got a new event called Detecticon, which is being run by North of Time Metal Detecting, and that's, I apologise, Scotty, I haven't got the exact date, but that's early July and another 3-day event. We've then got, obviously, Detectable, the main event in September. Rodney Cook of this week announced their dates. That's on the 4th till the 6th of September, Marlborough in Wiltshire. Detecting for Veterans, which I believe is now sold out, is the 18th to the 20th of September. And Detector World of this week, thanks Scotty, it's the 24th to the 26th of July. I'll have to print all these things out so I remember them. Detector World has this week announced their event this year in the Netherlands on the 24th and the 25th of October. which we've actually had an invitation to, but I don't think we're going to be able to afford to do that, unfortunately. If anybody would like to pay for us to go, we would like to go. So that's this year's major events anyway, up to now. And it looks like at least we'll be at, I think I'm definitely going to the Spring Detectable and Detecticon and Detectable and the Rodney Cook Memorial Rally. So I'll definitely be at them events. And they are also the events that we will have issues 5, 6, 7 and 8 of the free version of the Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine. So I think I'll be able to get out them dates. I think I'll be given a note off Mrs. Sadler to say I can attend anyway, Steve.
That's right. Information.
And I'm looking forward as well to seeing at Detectable any big announcements this year. Of obviously last year's big announcements were the Simplex, which is fully out and about and getting some great reviews. Obviously yourself, you use one of them. Yeah,
very good machine.
So what difference is between that and the other Nocta Macro machine that you use?
Not a lot really. They run pretty much the same. The Cruiser and the Simplex. It's same VDI number, same sort of tone. It works just as good. But then with the Cruiser, you've got extra settings. You know, you can go through the programs a bit more refined things. You know, but that Simplex is all singing, all dancing.
And you've obviously find it's easier to use, and are you finding a similar amount that you would with the other machine?
Yeah, I think I am. Yeah.
Kimmy DeBay says she thinks the Simplex is a mini cruiser.
Yeah.
Hello to Colin Stimpson. I've not seen him in the chat before, so thanks for coming on board tonight.
Yeah,
and to,
Detectable.
Treasure Ed as well. I've not seen Treasure Ed before in the chat, so thanks for coming on tonight. And again, to everybody who is coming over, apologies for the failure in the TV episode tonight. I also mentioned the Vanquish, which is this week started to be released and sent out. So I know that Aaron Weedle's already got a video up with the Vanquish, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to get him on in the coming weeks to give us a review of that. So be interested to learn on that, because that was the title sponsor of last year's Detectable, and obviously that was their big thing, was to release the Vanquish. Did you get to have a play with that at all?
No, I never went over there.
No. Oh, well, actually, next week's guest is Mr. Adrian Gala, and he's currently field testing the Vanquish, so hopefully we'll be able to find more out about his thoughts on the Vanquish next week, which is great. A welcome surprise there. Thank you, Adrian. If you're still available, of course. So, any more finds of consequence that you can think of?
No, it's just the run-of-the-mill stuff, really. Nothing spectacular. Nothing jumps out at me. This year's will be the one, I think.
Yeah.
I'll try and get a little bit more and spend a bit more time in the fields.
Yeah. Yes.
I've done a lot with the gamekeeper. I do a lot of beating, shooting. So last one tomorrow, and then we're shooting Saturday morning, and then that's it then for another year.
All right. So that's your job then, a gamekeeper?
No. I'm a welder fabricator.
Obviously, we spoke about that earlier.
I just do a lot for him, and I've got permission then on his ground to detect.
Brilliant. And that's what we like, giving a bit back. Obviously, doing for somebody giving it back. So fantastic.
That's right.
Anyway, Stephen, I think we've gone through more or less anything. Is there anything you'd like to add, or you can obviously point people to your YouTube channel?
Yeah, well, you can follow me on YouTube. It's UK Metal Detecting Stephen Pettican. I put a video out at least once a fortnight. You never know, something tidy might pop up.
You went all Nessa then, didn't you?
Yeah. It's always tidy on my channel. Everything's tidy. Even the horseshoe's tidy.
Yeah, well,
I think that's...
obviously people get yourself along to Stephen's channel. There are some good videos on there. I've watched quite a few myself, and as people know, I'm not the greatest at watching YouTube, although things have actually changed in the past couple of weeks, and I've found myself watching YouTube a little bit more while I'm at work. So I'm actually getting into, found a few more people I've not actually seen before, so looking forward to learning more on them. Anything else you'd like to add before
I'm getting better at all this.
Yeah.
I'm getting better at all this editing stuff. Better.
Well, I keep promising that I'll do some more videos. I don't do YouTube videos for metal detecting. I can't be bothered. Everyone says get a GoPro, but I can't be bothered because I'm no good at it anyway. So I can't see any consequence occurring, and so I'll stick to historical and archaeological videos. I've got one or two places to go to and put together some videos which will be up in the coming months. So, Pete said it would be every day that you had videos up, but your internet takes 2 weeks to upload the video.
We're running on coal still, yeah.
So anything else to add? And I'll wind up the show. I've got a few more announcements and things just to give mention to, but obviously I'd like yourself to speak first.
For inviting me on the show, and as well.
It's been a pleasure. Pete says, have you upgraded your editing software from... I think we've actually lost Stephen there. So thankfully, obviously, he's gone just at the right time. So I'll give him a shout back shortly off air to tell him that we'd lost him. Otherwise, as I said, myself and Luke, we're off to the National Council for Metal Detecting meeting in next weekend, not this coming weekend, next weekend. So obviously, hopefully we'll have some information to bring you from the event and any updates and what have you. Back to ourselves, we've changed the website a little bit. We've got a new area called Big Media now. What we used to do was share other people's media, YouTube and such like on there, but now we've changed it to all our own media. And we're hoping that this is going to change substantially in the coming weeks. We do have an announcement coming which we're working behind the scenes tirelessly at creating something a little bit new and a little bit innovative again. We try to make upgrades to everything that we do every now and again, and again this is another thing that's been on the cards for a while, and Luke finally said, right Dave, I'm doing it, so that's on the cards. We're also in the process of creating the first edition of the magazine, the paper version of the magazine this year. So if you'd like any articles, any information included in that, contact myself and Luke. We do advertise. Unfortunately, advertising is is paid for, because basically the monies that me and Luke raise from advertising pays for us to be able to give you the magazine for free. So the first one will be out at Spring Detectable, and we're looking forward to that. We've already started to create it, and it's looking good at the moment. As I said as well, if you'd like to include any of your images of artifacts that you may have recovered, contact ourselves or post them in the Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine Facebook group. It's different to the page. Obviously, the page is more news orientated, where the group, we actually obviously communicate between each other. That's where you show your finds. So please jump on there, and we'll discuss obviously information. We'll get an article together and be able to put it through the Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine website, and also hopefully into the magazine. So next week, as I mentioned earlier, our guest is Adrian Gala. He's another member of Team Rootus. So he'll hopefully be talking about the Rootus, and as he mentioned earlier, he's currently testing the new Minelab Vanquish. So we'll be able to get some updates on that, which is great, seeing it's only been released this week. So thank you everybody for listening. Apologies again for things that have gone wrong this evening. We do have it. It's usually me. Not sure what the issue is tonight. We think it might be Steve's connection, or the manner of which he's used it on there anyway. So yeah, it happens. It's not an issue on our behalf. At least we've got the podcast going. So ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure as ever. Thanks to Steve Pettican. Thank you each and every one of you for your listening and your input, and have a great week.
The Archaeology and Metal Detecting Magazine acts as a hub for information, offering articles from archaeologists, detectorists and other specialists throughout the genre, featuring many links, event info and news articles associated to archaeology and metal detecting. We also offer professional review services and promotion for books, resources, videos, documentaries, gadgets, equipment and much, much more. The magazine is run by the archaeological and metal detecting community for the archaeological and metal detecting community. So come visit us at archmdmag.com, that's archmdmag.com, and check out information from our media section with all the latest content, news from the Archaeology channel, podcast, and the YouTube channels that feature the now legendary Digger Dawn, the Man with the Hat, and Archeo Duck, just to name a few. If you would like to offer an article, link, or inquire about other services, then pay us a visit at archmdmag.com and drop us a line.